Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to US Waterman. My name is Aaron Young. This is like my 15th take trying to do this, so hopefully I don't screw this one up. Anyways, before we jump into today's episode, quick congratulations I wanted to extend. A friend of mine, Justin, sent me a photo from a buddy of his. His son shot his first ever grouper. I heard that he's a big fan of the channel. Think that's incredible. He's a young guy. Just kind of wanted to throw this out there. It's RJ Rodriguez is his name. Shot his first grouper. I really love seeing the youngsters get involved in this kind of stuff, and that's honestly a fish he will never forget. They probably lit a fire that will probably burn for the rest of his life. Spearfishing is such an amazing sport. If you've never done it, try it. Anyways, congratulations, RJ. That is awesome. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you like this stuff. Let's get into today's episode. Just a quick backstory. I had a charter a few weeks ago, the Van Hook family. They all wore cameras throughout the day. We did really well, shot a grouper limit, and at the end of the trip, they asked if I would be willing to kind of go over the footage and maybe do an episode, do the narratives that I do, and talk about their dives. So I told them to send it over. Couldn't make any promises, but I'll look at it. After looking at the footage, these guys operated so well together. Like, it was very smooth. There was a lot of good lessons learned. So yeah, that's pretty much all it was. There's a lot of good situations, a lot of stuff worth talking about. So that's today's episode. The Van Hooks, these are their cameras. I'm not in the water. They are diving. I'm just driving the boat. So I'm going to go over some stuff. Hopefully you guys learned something. Let me know how you feel about this. And I'll see you guys soon. Check it out. Alrighty, boys and girls, let's dive in. So one thing I did want to address before we get into this one, I'm getting a lot of beginners that want to come down and try spearfishing. I think that's fantastic. I love it. I love taking beginners out. But I think these YouTube videos make spearfishing look a lot easier than it actually is. Me personally, I've been doing this for well over 10 years. The guys that are diving today, again, this is not my film today on this episode. Majority of the time it's me, but these clips are not me. These guys are very experienced. They dove very well. I was impressed after watching these videos. Long story short, I want to keep expectations realistic. Most of these videos are experienced divers, so it's making it look very easy. This is one of their first drops, just kind of scanning off the top of the bottom. Kind of the style I do it. I don't really do a ton of laying on the bottom. Mutton comes in, he does a couple grunts, gives it the old hand flare, and gives him a beautiful shot. One of the things I was really impressed with, and not personally a huge fan of, but they dealt with it just fine when it's clean water, is they were diving without reels. You can see his flopper did not deploy completely. Looks up at his safety. He already knows what to do. They don't even have to say anything. No words were exchanged. Safety's there ready to go. Sees that the fish had come off. Luckily, he stoned it. Well, at least nerved it. I couldn't tell there if it was completely stoned or nerved, but got back down and put a good shot on that fish. Enough to secure it. But as I was saying, very surprised these guys were diving with reels. I think this spot was about 50, but the majority of the diving we were doing throughout the day was 50 to 60 feet. In clear water, it's not as big of an issue, but nice mutton to start.
Good retrieval.
Another drop. This is a little deeper. I think we're out at around 60 here. He's got a fish in mind, kind of lines up. Fish is pretty comfy. Two hands, just like I shoot. I love it. Perfect shot. Again, shooting without a reel. He's got to work a little harder here to get this thing off the bottom. Again, his safety's there. Already knows what to do. Second shot, make it a little easier just bringing this fish up. If you have a reel, you can kind of give that fish a little bit of slack, a little slower coming up, so you can kind of get to the surface faster, but these guys work so well together, it was not a problem. Knife ready to dispatch the fish, I love it. So we are on a new ledge. I'm pretty sure they had located this fish beforehand. Obviously, it looks like he's pretty, he's hovering over one spot. He knows what he's doing here. He's got his light out. He's ready to go. A lot of these groupers will be holed up. It's not very often. Well, I say it's not very often. We do it a lot with chum, but a lot of times these fish are going to be hidden There's so many more fish that are down there that you don't ever even see or know that are there, that are in these ledges, in these holes. A lot of the hunting we do is with lights. It's a little preemptive here. I would have been a little more ready on the gun there, but I think this fish had already been holed up, so it wasn't a huge deal. Just trying to locate it here. He's got his light kind of down there with his shaft, so when he finds it, he's ready to go. Sees the fish's face right here, and bam. That's all it takes. So a little work to get that fish out. He didn't stone it, I think, as he was intending, but a shaft is in the fish. That's the hardest part. After that, kind of just working together to get that fish out of there. Not going to show the whole process in this one. This is a new fish, new drop. This fish is kind of sitting out in the open. Again, I hate this angle. I slowed that clip down right when he pulled the trigger. That fish turned and he was going for a headshot, and he actually ended up shooting it kind of towards the tail. I don't like that unicorn head-on shot. He almost tried to wait. It was such a split-second decision. You can't really tell whether the fish moved first or he moved first, but got a shaft in the fish. Fish ended up rocking up here. Nice ledge. He's in this hole, and this is a great dive and great teamwork here. You'll watch how this kind of goes down. He's got the fish located. He can see that the fish is trying to come out the other side. And he's going to do something that I try to do very often when fish are in holes. He's going to try to brain the fish in the hole. It makes it a lot easier to be able to pull that fish out. That fish is not struggling. He's not trying to reverse, trying to flare his gills. He tries to brain it in the hole. I don't think he was successful, but the fish does come out. Again, here he goes again. Main concern is braining that fish. Now the fish is out in the open. So that fish is exposed. If the fish is down there twitching, still struggling, very likely a shark is going to come find it. His safety's ready to go. He's been watching this from the surface. I love this sequence of dives here. These boys work so well together. So this is the top view. Safety's watching all this go down. Sees him working on the fish. You'll see right here, fish comes out. He knows, all right, it's go time. He's at the end of his dive. I've got a safety on the surface. I need to go down and secure this fish. Again, if that fish sits there on the surface and or on the bottom and struggles, throws sand, there's a good chance a shark's going to come grab it. So he puts a backup in it, immediately knows that this line is caught, and you're going to have to either pull the shaft out of the fish or clear the line from the ledge. Love these snap swivels. I use the pigtails like that as well. I think they hold a little better. That line's going to come through nice and easy. He knows that gun's floating, secure the fish, and we're done. That was a beautiful sequence of dives. Like, I'm very impressed with how well these guys work together. It was extremely impressive. Some of the guys that I've dove with for years might not have even picked that up that quickly. That was absolutely amazing.
I do believe that's how it's done. Okay, grab your gun. Get everything situated, then we'll go get mine.
So I'm going to go over, these are a couple we'll call bloopers. It happens. I think these were the only 2 of the day, if I remember correctly. Might have been one more on a mangrove or something. But we're talking about this. This one's actually a good scenario. This happens quite often. And he handled it pretty well, so he's got a grouper in mind here. You see him, he's coming out of the rocks there, he's kind of darting, he's following him, and he goes under this ledge. So he's got 2 things that are going to happen. That grouper is going to go under that ledge and keep going, which is what he sets up for. He realizes he's not gonna, so he's going to pull his gun back under the ledge. Now, I would have been a little more ready to fire, because I know the second that grouper sees me, he's going to dart just like that. It happens, he gets lined up, is able to make a decent shot on him. I think that shot was just barely too far. And he had to pull on him a little there because he didn't have a reel. That fish actually ended up tearing out. It happens, not a huge deal. I'm not going to show you. He does a return trip and that fish actually tears out. But that was a good scenario, how that fish set up that ledge. And this is our last dive of the day. We had a black grouper limit. We went to look for some muttons. Water was a little dirtier on the mutton spots. He's dropping, kind of just scanning on the way down. This is just more like a hard bottom. Sees a nice mutton here. kind of tracking him. And I slowed this clip down, and it was very strange. The shot did not go where he had actually pulled the trigger. I don't know if he's a little shaky on the hand there. I don't know if it was because he was shooting with one hand. Maybe he's got a little bit of shaft whip going on, but I slow-mode that clip, and it actually was a little off. But that's all I got for this round, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Later.